picture this, a bustling cafe, laughter and conversations all around, but amidst the noise, one man sits alone. His phone is his only companion, and behind his quiet exterior lies a story shared by millions. This isn't an isolated incident. It's the silent epidemic shaping our modern society, male loneliness. In recent years, researchers have sounded the alarm on a growing phenomenon. Men, particularly younger and middle-aged men, are becoming increasingly isolated. According to a 2021 report by the Survey Center on American Life, 15% of men reported having no close friends, a five-fold increase since the early 1990s. Think about that for a moment. 1 in 6 men feel they have no one to confide in or lean on during difficult times. This trend has profound implications not just for mental health, but also for societal stability and overall well-being. But why is this happening? What factors have contributed to this silent epidemic? And most importantly, how can we start addressing it, both individually and as a community? In this video, we'll uncover 8 key reasons behind the rise of male loneliness. And here's a little heads up, the last reason is my personal favorite, so stick around until the end. It might just surprise you. Point 1. Changing social norms. Over the last few decades, traditional ideas of masculinity have been challenged, which is a necessary and positive shift. However, for many men, this transformation has left them in a gray zone, unsure of how to navigate relationships or express vulnerability. Men are often told to be strong and man up, phrases that have long discouraged emotional openness. While societal attitudes are evolving, this stigma still lingers, making it harder for men to seek help or form deep connections. Without the right support system or guidance, many men internalize their struggles, which only deepens the cycle of loneliness. Point 2. Fewer friendships post-school. During school and college, friendships often form naturally through shared classes, sports, or dorm life. These relationships can feel effortless because they're built into our daily routines. But once these structured environments are gone, many men find it challenging to maintain or form new friendships. Careers, family obligations, and personal ambitions take precedence, leaving less time and energy for social connections. Unlike women, who are more likely to prioritize nurturing friendships, men often let these relationships fade. And over time, the absence of close bonds can feel isolating. Point 3. Work-centric lives. For many men, work is not just a job, it's an identity. Success in their careers becomes a top priority, often at the expense of personal relationships. While hard work is admirable, an overemphasis on professional achievements can leave little room for cultivating friendships or hobbies that foster connection. Think about it. How often do we hear phrases like, "I'll catch up with my friends when things slow down at work"? But the truth is, life rarely slows down, and the longer we put off nurturing relationships, the harder it becomes to rebuild them. Point 4. The digital mirage. In a hyper-connected world, we're supposed to feel more connected than ever. But for many men, social media creates the illusion of connection without the substance. Digital interactions, whether through likes, comments, or group chats, lack the emotional depth of face-to-face conversations. Scrolling through highlight reels on Instagram or Facebook can even make people feel more isolated, as they compare their lives to the seemingly perfect lives of others. The result? Men feel connected in numbers but disconnected emotionally, fueling a profound sense of loneliness. Point 5. Decline of community spaces. Historically, community spaces like sports leagues, local clubs, and places of worship were integral in fostering male friendships. These spaces provided a sense of belonging and a platform for shared experiences. But today, many of these spaces are either disappearing or being replaced by virtual communities. While online forums or gaming groups have their place, they don't always offer the same depth or intimacy as in-person connections. Rebuilding these community spaces or finding alternatives could play a significant role in combating male loneliness. Point 6. Mental health stigma. Mental health awareness is growing, but the stigma around seeking help persists, especially for men. Society often equates vulnerability with weakness, discouraging men from speaking up about their struggles. When loneliness takes a toll on mental health, many men suffer in silence, fearing judgment or rejection. Left unaddressed, these feelings can snowball into depression, anxiety, or even more severe outcomes. Breaking this stigma is not just a personal challenge, it's a societal responsibility. Normalizing conversations around mental health could help countless men feel less alone. Point 7. Divorce and relationship breakdowns. Divorce is another significant factor contributing to male loneliness. When a marriage ends, it's not just the partner that's lost, many men also lose the shared social circle that came with the relationship. Women are generally better at maintaining friendships post-divorce, while men are more likely to find themselves isolated. Rebuilding a social network after such a loss takes time and effort, but it's a critical step in overcoming loneliness. Point 8. The pressure of independence, my favorite. From a young age, men are taught to value independence and self-reliance. While these traits can be empowering, they can also discourage men from reaching out or relying on others during tough times. This go-it-alone mindset, though often celebrated, can lead to emotional isolation. Men may hesitate to share their struggles, fearing they'll be seen as weak or burdensome. Why is this my favorite point? Because it highlights a paradox: independence is a strength, but true strength also lies in connection. Recognizing this balance is key to overcoming male loneliness. Male loneliness is more than a personal struggle, it's a societal challenge. But here's the good news: it's not irreversible. By understanding its roots, we can take meaningful steps to rebuild connections, both individually and as a community. Because at the end of the day, connection isn't just a luxury, it's a human necessity.